started off when I was 23 years old. Now I'm 33, spending the most important years of my life setting up this business, into blood, sweat and tears, into everything.
A decade after opening his gym business, Steve Pace has built a mini business empire in Port Melbourne, branching out into martial arts, beauty spa and cafe. With most of his businesses closed by the strict lockdown, last week only the cafe was still doing takeaway trade.
Opening up the cafe to just to test the waters out to see how it's going to go with business-wise, and our takings were $23.50. So I took over, just 5 coffees, and we officially closed our doors. Now that all 4 businesses have come to an end, it's really hit me. It's psychologically, I can't keep on going.
Steve made his decision after doing the sums. Even if he stuck it out for another few weeks, he still won't be able to meet his bills.
When we started to correspond with the banks, loan payments, rent, and then come to the realisation that it would be a large amount of sum that would have to be paid back in a short period of time. And the fact that I wouldn't be able to go through it mentally and physically again, what I had gone through the first 3 or 4 years of the business. 10 years on, trying to get through the first shutdown was difficult enough, but hitting with the second one, I think it's going to knock out a lot of people, just due to the fact that we've been slowly bleeding for 4 or 5 months now.
Those businesses that have been trading through stage 3, in particular those that are really struggling to operate, may in fact decide that the step up into stage 4 is just too big a step for them, and rather than continuing with the pain, them in fact looking to cease trading as a result.
Victoria's latest shutdown is an even bigger blow to the economy than the first lockdown, which began in March. Almost all retail business has been closed, along with most manufacturing, and for the first time, the construction industry has been restricted.
Every day we will have 5, 6 sort of different jobs to do. We put insulation in the walls, in the ceilings, obviously all before plasterers come in, and I still have 2 or 3 crews going.
Paul Davis is still trying to figure out how his workers will be able to install insulation at multiple sites within the new restrictions.
This last week's probably only been the week that's really stressed me out and just had me worried. Just the not having the clear answer of what's going on. Like when it first came out, they said 1 site for 6 weeks, and for us, we do a job in 2 hours. And if that meant that was the only job I could do for 6 weeks, well then we'd all be off because we'd have nothing else to do.
He's worried about his own financial future, but also feeling the pressure to keep his workers employed.
The stress probably is that, just the guys that I know working for me, some have got mortgages as well, some are renting, some are about to have kids. It's all those sort of things, and I never want to tell anyone I've got no work for them. I don't want my guys to go on job keeper. I'd rather just us work, earn our money, pay our money, and not put another strain on the economy and the government. So for me, I think construction needs to keep going.
The construction industry in Victoria employs 300,000 workers. More than 230,000 work inside the lockdown area. Under the new restrictions, the number of workers on major construction sites is limited to just a quarter of the previous workforce. Specialist contractors will only be able to visit 3 sites per week. Accounting firm KPMG estimates the restrictions will cost the Victorian economy $600 million.
I go to multiple sites per day. If I can't do one job, it stops the next trade, which stops the next trade, stops the next trade. It's just a flow-on effect.
Recovery is going to take longer than what our initial impacts were, simply because we know that the longer an economy remains dislocated, the longer it takes for it to come back to where it normally was. And that's simply where we are now, is we're into this period of longer dislocation.
Back in Port Melbourne, Steve Pace wants to turn the end of his businesses into a fresh start. He's decided to leave Melbourne to move to Queensland once the borders reopen.
I feel that in Melbourne that I've put everything into my business and everything into what I've started here. I think I need to mentally have a break and a reset of my life.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.